their voices being heard.
Is there a chance, is there any fear, because they actually poll, the Tea Party movement polls higher than the Republicans in a poll. Do you worry that they may split or divide the conservative vote in the country, or do you think in the end they come together, or do you have a fear or a message to those that may think about splintering off?
That's a great question, because heaven forbid that there be that splinter. I think at the end of the day, we have the same message, and that is those points that you have just made about strong military, about free market enterprise being able to drive our economy, and not government growth driving our economy. Government getting out of the bailout, business getting out of the private sector and out of our lives. Those within the Tea Party, I believe, agree with so many in the Republican Party, and a lot of Democrats, too, believe in that, too.
Who?
But
I don't see moderate Democrats.
Who? There are some good ones in the heartland.
In the heartland, not in Washington.
No, not so much in the establishment, absolutely. But heaven forbid that there become the factions, though, and fractions within, say, the Tea Party movement, and there become the infighting within that movement, and then that prohibits the progress that this movement can make.
What do you think this controversy with Harry Reid? It wasn't just what he said, but then Bill Clinton made the comment apparently to Ted Kennedy, you know, a few years ago Barack Obama would be getting us coffee. What did you think when you heard about this?
Tough to defend those statements, and that type of thinking is quite foreign to so many of us who would not judge someone, have any kind of criteria based on skin tone. What would the reaction be if
Sarah Palin said that?
Or Sean Hannity, absolutely. You get clobbered.
Clobbered? I'd be fired. Probably be fired.
Well,
or there'd be calls for me to be fired.
This double standard, this hypocrisy is what drives the rest of us crazy. Remember Trent Lott said what he said? He got run out of town. Here Harry Reid says what he says, and I don't believe that either person, Trent Lott or Harry Reid, are racists. I really don't. I believe that they picked the wrong words in trying to make a point there. But look at the double standard applied. It's okay for Harry Reid to say such a thing, according to the liberals, but it wasn't okay for Trent Lott and others.
Should the same thing happen then to Harry Reid? In other words,
well, should he step down?
Should he step down?
I think he should step down anyway, because I think he is driving a bus that is headed towards a train wreck that is going to happen in America if we continue down this road that he and Pelosi and Obama want us to be on, a road that is allowing this government growth and is hesitant to really bolster our national security. That road that they want to put us on, it scares me. It scares a lot of Americans.
Now, the president always says that he, and I agree with you, the president always says that he would want to hear from other voices and other people. If the president ever reached out to you to get an opinion, what would you want to tell him right off the bat about either national security or the economy? What would you say to him?
I would definitely go to the national security issues. I know that jobs are the #1 issue in our country. That is what is on voters' minds. People want to know, how are we going to get out of this 10% unemployment rate and the 17.3% underemployment rate? This is horrible. And I think enough people are already telling Barack Obama, come on, you got to do something different here. You got to quit growing government and assuming that government is the solution to the economic woes in this country. People are already taking care of that. I'd like to talk to him about the national security issues, though, and what I believe the rules of war should be. And I would like to recommend to him that he show a little bit more passion in this war on terror, so that we can trust that perhaps the steps that he takes that seem to me to be so hesitant to make decisions when it comes to our national security, that we can at least trust that he's really being deliberative. He isn't purposefully just hesitating and dithering and being kind of wishy-washy on things, when the rest of us want to see action taken so we can get this war on terror won, we can get it over with.
And coming up, Governor Palin on the president's broken promises and the type of people she'd like to profile if she had her own TV show. Straight ahead. And we continue now with more of my interview with former Alaska governor and Fox News contributor Sarah Palin. How worried are you about the economy? And a lot of people out of work. They're not even counting millions of people anymore in their new data system.
Right.
The president promised that the stimulus, unemployment wouldn't go above 8%. How afraid are you about the situation involving the economy?
And now we're hearing about China's emergence, their economic emergence, and other countries too.
Yeah, China, by the way, the largest automaker in the world.
See, and here we're stalled because we're disincentivizing manufacturing. We're disincentivizing production and the job creation that we need to see. And now, in order to allow our economy to roar, we need to cut the taxes on the job creators, our small business businesses. We need to allow families to keep more of what they're earning. Instead, Sean, where we're going to go, and I think that this will be revealed here shortly in this new year, we're going to see revealed the tax increases that were promised not to happen, but I guarantee they will happen. Otherwise, how the heck are we going to pay for these multi-trillion-dollar plans of the White House?
How insane is it that you'd be better off to die this year because you'd pay no estate taxes, but if you die next year, they're going to take half of your whatever you made in your lifetime? I mean, how insane! Only Washington can come up with a cockamamie, idea like that.
No, an idea like that, you have to ask yourself, bring it back down to a simple term. How does that create a job? How does that put food on the table for someone? How is that going to help our economy? It's not. It's going to hurt. So you ask what would I say to the president if I had the opportunity? We'd talk national security, and then when we pivoted into the economy, I'd ask him, do you really think that where we're going today with growing government and incurring this huge debt and this deficit spending, do you think that this is helping? Because even if he doesn't believe us, the commentators, he just has to look at the numbers and see it's not working.
No, they're digging in. They're talking stimulus too.
So let's humble ourselves and let's say, we went down that path for a year. It isn't working. Let's shift gears. Let's go a different direction. And, I do want to hear more voices, and I will actually hear from people who have other ideas besides growing government as the idea.
It seems like they're doubling down, though. If they're going to have the son of stimulus, that they're just doubling down on bad ideas.
It's a horrible idea, the second stimulus, when we have not measured the success of the first stimulus.
Let me ask you, did you watch all those health care hearings on C-SPAN?
Oh, I missed them. Gosh, when did they air?
You missed those? What does it mean?
Me and every other American missed it.
When George Herbert Walker Bush said to the nation, read my lips, no new taxes, he paid a heavy political price.
He was held accountable for that.
Held accountable.
Right.
Do you think Barack Obama saying 8 times during the campaign of which you were a part, I'm going to put all these hearings on C-SPAN, and then he breaks that promise, and every meeting is behind closed doors, and do you think he pays a political price for this?
And there hasn't been the bipartisan effort that had been promised. I do, Sean, because the people of America are smart, they're intelligent, they're astute, they're paying attention now more than ever to what is going on, and I think that we're going to see that manifestation of their frustration and they paying attention to what's really going on in these midterm elections.
Yeah, I agree. Now, one of the things, you amazed at how the amount of impact your Facebook comments have had in the political discourse and debate? Because every time you write something, it goes out over the wires. You've noticed that.
Well, they're usually pretty simple messages that I'm posting there on
when you talk
Facebook.
about health care, you said those death panels, which created a big controversy, and you're adding new words to the American vocabulary here. You stand by those comments because you think it still exists in the bill.
I do. It's a commission. It's a bureaucracy. It's bureaucrats who will ration care if the bill goes through as Obama wants it to go through. Yes, it's modeled in essence after a British system that does have people to decide whether, based on your quality of life, your age, whether you're going to deserve health care coverage or not. That's what's going to happen in America if this health care bill isn't stopped, and it needs to be stopped soon, and that's why the people of this land can't give up in demanding that their voice be heard, demanding that the White House understand that this is a representative form of government. We do expect that the will of the people is listened to and adhered to and implemented via our representatives whom we elect.
All right, so as you embark on your new career as a fellow Fox colleague, I read it in the press release that you're going to be hosting shows and doing specials. What could we expect? I would expect one that you might do. I'm guessing off the top of my head.
Well, here's what
maybe one on energy independence.
Absolutely, energy independence. What I would like to focus on for our children, I want to find real role models. I want to find those who should be our celebrities, those who we would be proud, Sean, for our children to be able to look up to and say, I want to be like that person who maybe would never be in a spotlight, but they work hard to put food on the table for their family. They're selfless. They're helping others. They are compassionate. They have a strong work ethic. I want to find those people across America. I want to profile them, and I want to say, kids, you can be like that person because this is America.
So in other words, you would do profiles on great Americans that we never hear about every day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Real American idols.